Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. LaTanya Woodson Mayfield, and today we're speaking with LaRhonda Frazier. She's a secretary in the multi-tiered Systems of Support Department and a breast cancer survivor. We're so thankful she's here to share her story with us. Welcome, LaRhonda.
Thank you.
Wonderful to see you again. So if you could share a little bit about your breast cancer survivor story, how it began.
I'm not really a TV person, but that particular evening after work, I came home, sat down and watched TV, and for some reason my hand went into my shirt and just kind of rested on my chest area. And so my husband kept saying, "You're gonna stretch your shirt. Like, stop, you're gonna stretch your shirt." And so I'm like, okay. So I kept doing that every day. On the last day, which was on, I think, a Friday or so, I'm like, I'm putting it there for a reason, and I'm just not telling him, but I feel something. I feel something that feels like a marble under my skin, and I've never felt that. So I went to call the doctor, and they were closed. So the next day at work, I called and made an appointment, went in, and she was like, "Nope, it's just you have dense breast tissue, and it's probably because you're on your cycle and, you know, all of those good things." And I'm like, okay. So again, I am one that you really can't say no to, especially when it's something that I'm passionate about. A week or so went by, and I'm like, no, I still feel this, and I'm done with it, with all of the monthly things that us women go through. So I made an appointment again, and I said, this time I'm not asking you. I'm demanding for you to make me a referral to get an ultrasound or another mammogram. I need someone to look at what I'm feeling here. And so she said, yes, ma'am. And from there, it all happened in one day. So I got the ultrasound and I got my biopsy, all of that in one day, because they did see something and I knew what I was feeling. So I, again, listened to my body, and yeah, so that's how it began.
Wow. So when you got the results back, what was your reaction?
So the very next day, the doctor called and she bluntly said, "Hi, Ms. Frazier, just wanted to call and let you know your biopsy, the results is that you have invasive carcinoma, invasive ductal carcinoma." And I just was like, okay, but I didn't know what it was. So that was my reaction. And then she hung up. I Googled, because I Google everything. So I Googled and it said cancer. And I was like, oh my God, like literally tears just started falling. And I was at work. We were in the old building, and Miss Mathis walked in, and that was my reaction was, I just was frozen. Like my eyelashes fell off. That's how much I was crying. So it was just like, oh my goodness. So, yeah.
Wow.
I went home and I shared the news with my husband, and I told him, I said, I just need you to give me this one day to cry, one day to be in this moment. But come tomorrow, we're going to start. We're going to fight. We're going to just change the whole mindset. And so that was it. So I gave myself one day. I pouted, I cried, I did everything. And then the next day, I was like a new person.
Tell us or share with us, if you can, what the next steps over the next few months were like for you.
When I worked with Miss Mathis, and she hugged me, embraced me in that time when I was crying, she prayed for me, and then she said, I need to connect you with a coworker of mine, which was Christine. And then I also need to connect you with another survivor that I know. That survivor told me, I don't care what you do, you never show up any different than yourself. So I was receiving the chemo that you get for the HER2 positive. I was given 6 rounds of that with immunotherapy to follow for a year. So with that being said, with her telling me don't show up any different than you are, and for people that know me, I love makeup, my lashes and all that. So I went into chemo with my brows. I know those people were like, where is she going? Coming to receive chemo. But I went in fully made up, and I received my treatment. Because again, it was my mindset. And my mindset was, I will never allow a sickness to dictate what and how I move. We took this journey together. And when I say we, my family and my Crowley ISD family, we had moments where we laughed because I was hot and I was like, I need to lift my wig up real quick because I'm hot. Or, be moments where I'm like, okay, this lash I know is hanging. Just ignore it because it don't have nothing to grip to. No hairs to grip to. But I felt like that journey between when I was diagnosed and even today, it's just a matter of never stop living and never stop laughing.
Now you're in the Sisterhood of Survivors for Breast Cancer Survivor. And it's a title that we wear very proudly. How does that make you feel coming from going through the journey to today being a survivor?
I will have to admit, I never wanted to really hold the title. I had many shirts that were given to me, and I never worn them until this year. And when I put on my first breast cancer awareness shirt was when we had our first Friday here, and someone asked me, "Oh, you have on that? Are you a survivor?" And tears just fell. Tears fell because I didn't want to say yes. So it's hard to accept, but I know that we have to accept it. And again, it's the mental part. So I just use it as, okay, I don't mind wearing it, but I'm going to rock the out of it. So I just try to dress it up. I just try to style it to make me feel a whole lot better. I can now wear the breast cancer shirt. I can now say, let me continue life. So at that point, that's when I applied at Texas A&M and I got accepted and I finished. And me and Ms. Christine got our degree in the same with the organizational leadership. It was something that was one of those accomplishments that came with, okay, now I can face that I am a survivor, that I have a future. I can move forward. I do have life in front of me.
In Crowley ISD, we're a family and we take care of each other. That's why we're sharing stories like LaRhonda's, and it's why we hope you'll visit our website to find more information and resources about breast cancer. You'll also find a place there to honor those who have been impacted by this disease. Together, let's continue to fight and continue to hope.